All right, so we're gonna start super simple. I don't want to scare anyone away, at least not right away, but I absolutely, most likely, definitely will. Anyways, so, you do your own stuff. You journal, you research, you talk to people, you find resources, and you just kind of like start to pull everything together because it's incredibly confusing. I remember the first time I was really looking into stuff, I realized autonomic neuropathy was something I was dealing with. And your autonomic nervous system is actually a subcategory of your peripheral. I'm sure you've heard of neuropathy. A lot of people have it. You don't have to be type 1 diabetic to have neuropathy. A lot of that is caused by the chemicals and purposeful poisons that are put into our foods and water, especially in this country, the United States. So, but the other thing that kept popping up was lupus. I mean, I had like so many similarities. And with lupus, you can actually have autonomic neuropathy. And with type 1 diabetes, which I do have for 32 plus years, which of course it has its effects over time. I've had it really on point and just like, prime health with it. And I've also been very destructive and had had issues. But I had never had, at the time, for the 32 years, what's called diabetic ketoacidosis. It is not the same as the diet, the keto diet, which promotes the healthy release of ketones. Ketones, as a type 1 diabetic, is an extremely large amount in the urine that causes disruption in the immune system. So you definitely don't want that. But I did recently have that for the first time, caused by Gastroparesis. But we will go into that another time. Okay, here we go. So back to the lupus thing. Big reason I thought it was lupus for a long time was because I started to have photosensitivity. And if I was out in the sun too long, I'd sleep for 2 days. I thought it was an adrenal thing, but I had those tested. Also, blood tests are so archaic. You can have symptoms of serious illness for 5 to 10 years before you get a diagnosis. And a lot of people experience that, and it's very frustrating. But a lot of that does have to do with the markers. So the markers that show up over time that help doctors, your PCP, your neurologist, your rheumatologist, your gastroenterologist, don't come up till it's very well progressed. I mean, if you struggle with serious illness like I have, it's very dismissive. And of course, as a woman or anyone that's female identifying, you know what I'm talking about. Non-binary, of course, as well. But you just get dismissed. And it's hard for women, especially because we have a history of, being dismissed or thought of as crazy or being dramatic or being too much, right? Okay, that's also another time. Okay, so anyway, I would say the last 3 summers, it's been getting progressively worse. I did get on hydroxychloroquine, which of course is the one that Trump was wanting people to take for COVID. As far as my research is concerned, it doesn't necessarily really help with COVID. That being said, it is a helpful drug. It's not the same class or anything, but the effects are kind of similar to how a steroid might help you out. But of course, we all know with steroids, you can't do long-term effects. The kind of fallout of taking it too much or too often really starts to deteriorate, the density of your bones, among other things, and that is just not worth it. So anyway, so I'm actually, and of course, with all these medications, right, like pharmaceuticals, the other side is, so it helps you not be so sensitive, not have such high photosensitivity. That being said, guess what? Yep, it also causes photosensitivity. So it's just something, if you have lupus, if you have undifferentiated connective tissue disorder, which is what I've been dealing with the last 2 years, of course longer than that, but that diagnosis and getting on that medication was really helpful. I'm not taking it now. I will get into all that other stuff another time, but I want to show you, kind of keep it light in the beginning, and do a bit of unboxing. I'm going to do 2 items. It's going to probably be super quick, but I was really super happy about these 2 purchases. Okay,